Hello and welcome to Nowhere. My name is Trish and I am the creator behind Nowhere Novelties. I'm going to shout out Banff Custom Creations for a third time on this channel. This is actually a tutorial that she did on her channel. Tangram tumblers are a very intricate and very complex and I would say difficult technique to perfect, but she made it look so easy, so I wanted to put my spin on it. I am calling this one the Stained Glass Tangram Tumbler. I love the jewel tones, the hint of leopard print, and we're gonna put this one together. It's a little bit of a long one. If you're ready, let's strap in and shoot for the stars. Okay, my 20-ounce skinny straight tumbler is prepped with Lagoon blue, grape, and candy pink from Rustoleum. The glitter I'm using is Caribbean Coast from Glitter Heart Company, Opossum from Mr. Nola's Glitter, and Carnival, also from Mr. Nola's Glitter. Because I am ombreing 3 colors together, I am using the epoxy method. So I am just going to apply a very thin layer of epoxy onto this tumbler. It is less than 5 milliliters of epoxy. My purple glitter is the most chunky, so I'm going to start with that in the center and work the ombre from top to bottom into that center stripe. A little hack when working with multiple colors of glitter is to have multiple layers ready for catching your glitter. So I'm bringing in a second folder for my second color, which is the pink. I'm starting out with saturating that edge of the bottom of the cup and the entire bottom, and then tilting my tumbler up and sprinkling into that purple section. I'm not fully saturating the ombre yet. I'm just getting kind of like a baseline and going in with the teal now. Doing the same thing, getting that top rim first, and then starting to let the ombre kind of fall into one another. So now I'm going to start working up my ombre. I'm going to come back in with some pink and start to fill in closer to the purple. Then I'm going to go back in with more purple and also kind of fully saturate that center section. When ombreing really contrasting colors of glitter, you want to kind of layer and go little by little. Don't be really heavy-handed at first because you'll get really stark lines that way. Once the epoxy was dry, I did spray seal it just to make sure the glitter didn't move, and did 2 coats of additional epoxy to get it smooth. Now here comes the fun, creating this Tangram design. So I have my Tangram template cut on white, the opal leopard, a pink, purple, and teal vinyl. I knew I didn't need full templates of every single one of these colors, so I cut strips of the individual colors and let my Cricut cut the Tangram template, and that allowed me to have smaller sections of each color I was going to need for the design. So underneath a layer of parchment paper, I have a plain piece of printer paper with the Tangram template printed on it. It's not like cut with a Cricut. It was just printed using Google Docs. And that allowed me to handwrite in a color code for each of the colors I was using on the template. Now, the reason I'm doing it this way is because I want pieces of the base glitter on the cup that's under epoxy already to shine through this template. So basically, there are going to be holes where there is no vinyl. So I laid down all of the white sections first, and now I am going in with these first 3 top rows with pink, and that's because I wanted the sequence of the ombre, the teal, the purple, and the pink to shift down one. So the teal section is going to have pink tangram pieces. The purple section, like I'm doing now, is going to have teal tangram pieces. And then the very bottom pink section is going to have purple tangram pieces. I think the offsetting colors really brings together like the jewel tone stained glass vibe. So like I said, there's going to be portions of this template where the glitter underneath shines through. So as you can tell, it's the first 3 rows that the pink is there. I skipped a row, and then I'm doing the next 3 rows that have the blue. Again, I skipped a row. And then the bottom 3 rows are the purple. So the row in between that I skipped that doesn't have any of the quote-unquote jewel-toned vinyl, my goal, my hope was once I laid this template down on the cup that the transition or ombre section of the glitter would be what was showing through in that line that is kind of blank and doesn't have any colored vinyl. I hope I'm explaining that correctly and that makes sense. It's hard to describe kind of what I was envisioning. You'll see it more so when I get the design on the cup. So now we're adding our leopard print vinyl. I know it looks blue, but this vinyl, it's from Tech Wrap. I will have it linked in the description box. It's actually transparent. It does flash like an opal-y color, which is really pretty. I know it looks blue on the template against like the white background, but when it goes on the cup, you can see straight through it. For real, I fully admit that I am copying straight from Banff Custom Creation, her tutorial. The moment I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I gotta create that cup. This has been on my mind for a solid year, and I'm finally making the cup for myself. So thank you, Banff, for all of your hard work and beautiful tumbler tutorials. Hopefully you don't hate me for copying you. Now I'm getting into the actual transfer process to get the design onto the cup. So I did test to make sure the vinyl could be transferred or pulled off of the parchment paper. I knew it was going to be tedious and I was going to have to kind of hand work piece by piece, but it does come off, so that's why I went ahead and did it this way. I cut my exact piece of transfer tape. I just use clear shelf liner from Target. It comes in a massive roll for super cheap, so that's what I use as transfer tape. And I go in, put my corner down first, and then work the backing off kind of in a diagonal motion. It made sure I didn't get any bubbles underneath the transfer tape. Burnished that down with a squeegee really well and started kind of to peel it back. Again, I knew it was going to be tedious, so I did kind of work row by row getting the transfer tape to actually pick up the vinyl and get it off of the parchment paper. Slow and steady wins the race. I knew going into it I wasn't going to just be able to put the piece down and lift all of these individual Tangram diamonds off of the sheet in one fell swoop, but they did end up coming off beautifully. And now I was able to apply it to the cup just like a full vinyl wrap. I made sure my points touched the top and the bottom and wrapped all the way around the cup. Now, it did not go on straight. I tried to put the parchment paper back under the vinyl piece, or the vinyl pieces, so that I could kind of line the template up before I wrapped it all the way around, but it ended up sticking. It did not go well, so I eyeballed it, and it was pretty close. I did have a little bit of a gap. I don't know if that was because the cup was epoxied and I printed that template and cut the actual individual template out of the vinyl before it was epoxy, so maybe my measurements were off. But once I pulled the transfer tape, I kind of shifted the pieces that were on that seam that were really far apart from one another, and it turned out great. And I knew I was going to be pinstriping this as well, so I had some wiggle room. Oh, and here I am going back in and doing a second layer of the pink. I just literally layered another piece of pink over each individual diamond because Cricut vinyl is trash. And it was completely see-through. You could see the dark teal underneath the pink, and I hated it. I did coat the Tangram Design in a layer of epoxy before I pinstriped to get a nice smooth surface, knowing I was going to be using this holographic opal. I have 2 sets of pinstripes cut out from my Cricut. The first set are 8 inches long by 0.1 inch wide. These are for my vertical stripes. With these vertical stripes, you can see me going in and I am taking out the center section of any area where 2 of the same colors touch. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, my eyes were going cross-eyed by the end of this cup because of the glare from the holographic leopard print vinyl, the vinyl pinstripes, and the glitter. Like, my eyes hurt so bad when I was done pinstriping this thing. The end result is so pretty though. I love that this opal vinyl primarily flashes blue. I think it ties all 3 colors together really pretty. So I'm going to pick up the pace of the video in just a second because, guys, this takes forever. It's about to get really repetitive, but I wanted to show the entire process because once I get to the smaller sections of vinyl, so I had cut those out. I believe they were 1 inch long. They might be 1.25 inches. I don't remember exactly the width of each individual line. But so when I apply these smaller pieces to the cup, similarly to the vertical stripes where if the same 2 colors are touching, I'm going to place a line, a divider line, if you want to call it that, only between 2 different colors. So if there's a vertical section where like 2 of the same color are stacked on top of one another, I'm not going to put a small piece of vinyl between that section. I'm going to allow it to remain stacked 2 tall. I feel like I'm rambling, but again, I hope I explained that well. You're about to see it in very fast sped up time because again, this makes the tutorial super long. In real time, this took about 1.5 hours. Now I am going to stop talking and just allow you to speed through this process. This beauty needed 2 final coats of epoxy, no other decals. She's done. If you have any questions, because I know this one was very complicated, please let me know in the comments below. I hope to see you real soon though. Bye-bye now.